This is next year's potential quarterback draft, right?
I'm drooling over this class.
Drew Mestemaker, 6'4", 211, 4,300 yards passing this year, 34 touchdowns. Obviously, that was with North Texas. Now he's going to be at Oklahoma State. You got Trinidad Chambliss, who won his case. He's going to be back at Ole Miss for another year, 3,900 yards, 22 touchdowns.
They granted him that?
Yeah, he got that. You got Jayden Maiava out of USC, 6'4", 230. Ran that offense flawlessly last year, and he's going to be available next year. Julian Sayin, obviously Ohio State fans out there love that guy, 3,600 yards, 32 touchdowns. Dante Moore, who was arguably going to be in a battle between Mendoza this year for the number 1 overall pick, decides to stay. 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 picks. We all know Arch Manning is coming out this year. That name alone is, in the 2027 draft. Right. Yeah. Arch Manning, 6'4", 218, 3,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I think he missed 3 games. Lenoris Sellers, who I'm not a big fan of, but apparently his athleticness is what's really winning him over. 6'3", 240. Apparently the guy runs like a freaking bull in a china shop. 2,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, but they talked about him being a possible top 10 pick. He ultimately decided to stay in South Carolina along with his freak of a wide receiver who I wanted the Browns to get this year, Nick Harbor. 6'4", 236, 4.33, 40, 42-inch vertical. I
have yet to watch really any South Carolina tape. Maybe I got to
tune
into some Gamecocks.
He ended up wanting to go back. And then good luck spelling this one. Nico Iamaleava. Forgive me to all the Hawaiians out there who I just butchered that name.
Iamaleava.
6'6", 215, threw for 2,000 yards, 13 touchdowns last year at UCLA. He'll be a name to watch this year. But this is a draft class where ultimately I would almost take all of those quarterbacks over the 2 quarterbacks in this draft that are drawing names. So
can I be very, very anal and tell you that you forgot DJ Lagway?
I didn't forget him. I just ran out of spot on the sheet. Yeah, out of Florida. I think he's like
Baylor.
6'3", 220. Did he transfer?
Yep.
See, that must be why I didn't catch on to it.
Regardless, though, you're absolutely correct. This draft class next year, especially for the QBs.
Yeah, so I find it funny when they're talking.
I'm going to stop you right here really quick.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to slow you down here real quick. We're just talking about the guys that we know that are proven big names that were supposed to be breakouts this year. And all of them have, in their own respective manners, made some headlines, both good or bad. Wait till we find out about the guys that are just still now getting their ball rolling, that are coming into from 25, now going into 26, can put that shit together like Arvell Reese did.
Well, yeah, and there's also the fact that we don't know. I mean, there's quarterbacks out on this list, and I pulled this list based off of a couple of things, a couple of 2027 mock drafts, a couple of other pieces.
Who do you think's the worst name on this list? I want you to rank these for me, Will.
All right, let's see.
1 through 7.
All right. All right, let's go with
8. Sorry, 1 through 8.
I'm gonna go with 1 and 1. Oh gosh,
1A. You want to go 1A, 1B?
I say 1A, 1B for me is going to be Arch Manning and Jayden Maiava. Just because I've watched them both play and I like their measurements. That 6'4" number sticks out to me.
Okay.
So that's my 1A and 1B is Manning and Maiava. Number 2 is. I mean, I watched my hard part about number 2 is saying it's Julian Sayin is the fact that he got to throw to Carnell Tate and JJ last year, right? So, I mean, who's going to arguably be a top 2 or 3 pick next year?
And have you not seen any Chris Henry tape?
Who's Chris Henry?
Chris Henry Jr. He's the number 1 wide receiver in our draft or in our recruiting class.
Oh, this year.
Yeah, you need to watch some.
Arguably, so and it's not that It's not that I'm saying that he's not going to have good receivers, so he's going to suck next year. I'm saying that he's had some of the best wide receivers in the game, and let's be honest, Ohio State doesn't necessarily challenge themselves schedule-wise the first 6 weeks of the
season.
Here
we go. All right, go on. Who's number 3 and 4?
Moving on. And then, so I'm between Julian and Dante Moore at that point. And then I know you love Drew Mestemaker. He played for North Texas, threw for a lot of yards last year. We'll see what happens with him at Oklahoma State. Trinidad, I think he's just a name who's going to get. I mean, Ole Miss, they went to the championship game last year, or the semifinals last year, right? So he grabbed quite a bit of names recognition, and then he did have a hell of a yard with almost 4,000 yards passing. He's going to be what, like 24 years old by the time he comes out.
So what?
Somebody check his birth certificate. Is he an American? I don't know.
Okay, this isn't like a bowl situation. This isn't like a Manu Bowl situation. He's not coming over from like overseas anywhere. No, if I really
and then
had to
Nico will be an interesting one. Him and Lenoris Sellers, they're like the athletic guys. I mean, 6'6", 215, 6'3", 240. I mean, that's like a tight end. I'd have to watch a little bit more of them because, like you said, UCLA, even though they're in the Big Ten now, didn't get a lot of play time last year in any kind of national highlights. And South Carolina, same thing. This year, I'll definitely be watching him because, like I said, Lenoris Sellers and what's his name, Nick Harbor, the wide receiver for that team, is just a freak.
Could you see like a Terrell Pryor, Braxton Miller kind of position transition for either of these guys?
I mean, I hope not.
I mean, dude, if
every time that happens, it doesn't work out. I mean, really, realistically, who's the last quarterback to transition to wide receiver that it really worked out for?
Terrell Pryor. He had a 1,000-yard season
with
the Browns.
Cleveland Browns with no other receiver
he was
on the
doing
team.
Everything.
So what happened to him then?
I guess he flared out of the league.
You asked me if it worked out. I wouldn't call that a success story. Okay? I wouldn't call that a success story. All right, Ed, you tell me, brother. Now, how do you rank these guys? Because I know you have a different opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at all these guys here, factoring in where they're at program-wise, past statistics, who they are as players, I have to go with my 1A and 1B is Drew Mestemaker and Dante Moore. Love both those guys. Dante Moore, arguably, again, was going to be QB1 in this class in some areas. Some people had him over Mendoza. Some people didn't. I think this kid's coming back and still is just going to put up just amazing numbers. He's going to do some great things. I don't think Drew Mestemaker gets the love he deserves, especially because of North Texas being a small program.
Sure.
Smaller than normal program. The kid's got a nuke on him. I don't think people will understand. If you want to watch some serious ball, you want to know some serious highlights, and you go, holy shit, how did he make that throw? You go watch Drew Mestemaker. I am on this train. You can mark this date. It is March 3rd, 2026. I am on the Drew Mestemaker for QB1 in this class train.
Wow.
100%.
Well, he's going to Oklahoma State, so that'll be an opportunity for him to really pass on.
I really hope everything works out for him. I think now in my 2 spot there, probably go Julian Sayin. I think the kid just has so much talent in him. He's so accurate. He's so good. And of course, I'm also a little biased there. My 2A and 2B then would be Julian Sayin and then Arch Manning.
Wow. Arch Manning, 4th in the draft class.
Yep.
I mean, if the Browns end up winning 6 games, I hope that everybody else thinks that he's the 4th best quarterback.
I just don't. I'm waiting to see this.
Does the pedigree not mean anything? I mean, I could understand if it
You're
was
saying
like
the name. The name means nothing then?
The pedigree, not just the name.
Okay.
Right? Like, obviously, there's a name. Like Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, that's a name. Mm-hmm. Deion was a pro before him, his son.
Right.
The Mannings have had successful quarterbacks for 4 generations.
Okay.
And he's the only one who's actually athletic. He runs like a 4.6, 140.
Does he have those neck injuries? Are we
not yet? We gotta wait till year 18.
I don't know if that was like genetic.
Are you hating on freaking? Oh God, my gosh!
I'm not hating on Arch Manning. You are allowed to be a better player than your boy Arch Manning. I'm sorry.
What makes him a bad player?
It doesn't. There's nothing bad about him. There's
so
nothing bad about him.
So angry
because I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do right now, Will. We're not doing this right now.
What am I trying to do?
You're trying to rage bait me and start saying some wild shit.
No.
Everybody else can rank themselves underneath them. I think Lenoris Sellers is super athletic, but he had a down 2025. I think Nico is in way over his head. He left Tennessee, and they are probably glad he's gone because Joey Aguilar did a good job there. I don't know Jayden Maiava too much. I don't watch any USC ball.
Good news is they're on nationally, and they're on every night at 10 o'clock most of the season.
Yeah, and living on the East Coast, Midwest, I'm sorry. I'm pretty much in bed by that time, so I don't watch USC. Sorry, I don't watch any USC football. But yeah, that's pretty much my list. I think Trinidad Chambliss could fit into there in between. I think you can make an argument for anything. I think the fact that he lost his coach, still went and did a ton of great work with the team that he had, just speaks to kind of the character he is and the winner that he wants to be.
Sure.
So that's just my list of those guys right there. Again, I'm still waiting to see some of the guys that are going to appear middle of the season next year of like, okay, there's some traction in this name. We better start paying attention to this kid.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
Josh Hoover's a good name. Went from TCU to Indiana now. I think he's in a good system there. That's pretty much the only name right smack dab right off the top of my dome. So
no, it makes complete sense. Unlike Jerry Jeudy, he's got a good head on his shoulders, comes from NFL pedigree with his dad, was one of the best in the game. His years are are still in front of him. He's also athletically gifted, but not in the sense of where it's like a freak, where he's more likely to get injured or have issues or things like that. So I think he'll be a strong fit for us.
I think a new setting. I like this trade a lot.
Yeah.
I think you even mentioned this. We were talking about this weeks ago, and you're like, I'd give up a 2nd round pick for Marvin Harrison, and I was like, I looked at you for a second, I was like, I really like that actually.
Yeah, absolutely.